Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon. December 18th, we're looking at Window Traders Market Profile of the ES and NQ. We have a lot to talk about as the market threw an absolute temper tantrum, and I'm not really sure why. They got their quarter point cut. Now, I know he said that next year they're looking at maybe 2 cuts instead of 4. First of all, you can't believe anything this guy says. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're feeling that, forget about cuts. Maybe we're going to get rate hikes next year because inflation is not under control. Don't forget, these are the same people that said there was no inflation. There was transitory inflation. That we were going to have 6 cuts in a year. These people lie out their ass. Why? Because they're liars and they basically don't know what the hell's going on. Don't think these people are any smarter than you are. So I think that's why the bigger reason why the market threw this temper tantrum. I was absolutely surprised by it. A lot happened today. We're going to go over. I'm not going to even go over my trades. I had a really good day today. Okay? It was a little tough in the morning, but I was still up on the day. Had a couple of losses, a couple of wins. They've been playing games at the overnights, at the IB lows or whatever. So they caught me a couple of times, but net, I was having a good day. Through A and D. I was up. Once J period started, I did nothing in J period, and then after J though, all I did was look for shorts K, L, and M. Let me tell you something. If you're in a trading room and the moderator is screaming and yelling and there's chaos going on and he's buying and this and that, time to find a new room. Okay? If anybody told you to buy this market at any point in the last 2 hours, you got to walk away from them. There's very few times I'll tell my room that I don't think they should be in a long or a short. This type of energy, tempo, volume is one of them. There was no yelling, no screaming. It was calm. It was cool. I said, there's no way you should be looking for longs. If you're uncomfortable taking shorts, you watch it. Okay? Generally, I don't trade on a day like today. But the way the momentum and the market turned, this is my type of day, and I got involved in KL and M to the short side. We have our largest range in SPY in almost 2.5 years. $20.52. Volume right now is 90 million. So good volume. Not great, but good. We would have to do about 9 million in the after hours to crack the top 10, which is 99.2 million. So we'll see if we're able to do that. There are a lot of little nuances that we can't ignore, by the way, today. Okay? What are they? Well, first of all, even though we had a tremendous move to the downside, value ended unchanged. ES was overlapping to higher earlier. So they did come down, but it ended unchanged. NQ, 2 nuances. They were overlapping a lower all day until late when they ripped and stretched, and they ended unchanged. So they didn't lower POC. They actually raised, the lower in POC was lost by the bears. Okay? I'm sorry, not POC. Value. But POC also, now listen to what I'm going to say. We've seen this before. NQ was 9 for 9 wide. We went, and again, I'm in huge increments. We went from 22,300 to 21,420 something. Okay? POC could not be lowered. That is not something to ignore. It just isn't. I'm not saying, believe me, I'm not saying we're taking this back tomorrow. Not by any stretch. Okay, it's not going to be easy to take back. In fact, we took back the rollover gaps, and I said, like I've been saying for days, there's no way you're going to take that back in NQ without either a large gap or a strong trend day down. Well, we had the strong trend day down. We have 3 large sets of single prints in ES and in NQ. But I want you to keep in the back of your head that despite today's carnage, value is unchanged for both of us. And in NQ's case, it actually went from overlapping a lower to unchanged. And they could not lower POC in NQ, which was 9 wide. Please keep that in mind. Now, righty, another disaster day. Righty has an inside month. It's still up, but the weekly and daily are down. They go out with 3 sets of single prints and a large price probe. And they were also 9 wide, but they did lower it a little bit, okay? NQ goes out with 3 large sets of single prints, a 9 wide point of control, and a price probe. ES goes out with 3 sets of single prints, a large price probe, and unchanged value. We were in a very tight band. Now it looks horrible because I had to make it bigger. But look at all these days that we just wiped out. We knew this was going to happen. Look, nothing should be a surprise. I'm a little surprised why they did it, for the reason or whatever. But we shouldn't be surprised. I've been banging on the drum here saying if we're going to get volatility, it is going to come when? This week. It's going to come either with the Fed today or at some point. Because next week, with Christmas in the middle of the week, the odds of getting it then are not good. However, now that we've done this, well, now maybe things are going to stay volatile and hopefully volume-wise. At least I hope so. Okay? Volume right now, oh wow, it's 98 million. So we have to do another million and change, and we might get in the top 10 volume. That would be nice. But a lot of times the market takes a day to the overnight to digest what he did or said. They did not wait for any time to digest it. Once that rate cut came out and the language was 2 instead of 4, this market just took off to the downside. And even throughout his press conference, it did not rally at all. It kept going down. And even after he finished, they kept pushing down. So the market threw a big-time temper tantrum. Is it over? Well, it wasn't a good day. Right now, ES is up on the monthly, but they are down on the weekly and the daily. And they have an outside day down. Big time. NQ is up on the monthly and the weekly, but they're down on the daily. And their inside day down, which early on paid an A, but then didn't pay afterwards, paid huge when Jay took out yesterday's low again. So, look, it's one huge damaging day, but I'm going to say this. One day does not make a market. Okay, and I'm going to make you a bet. These people who have been getting crushed on the short side, and I mean crushed, I guarantee you, right? We had a $20 range. I'm going to say $10 down will turn buyers. So not only did they get crushed on the short side, the majority have got crushed on the long side today, too. I guarantee it. That's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. That's the nature of the beast. And that's why I'm telling you, I think you would really, really benefit from being in this trading room. My prices are going up January 6th. Go to camelbacktrading.org. Check out what they are now, what they're going to be. We're hoping for volatility at some point, not for one day, but for weeks, months at a time. So be in a room where at least the moderator has some semblance of what the hell he's doing, okay? Again, I'm not going to go over my trades. It was a really good day. And I'm not going over the destinations. There's too many of them, and plus I put it in bigger increments, which means I probably won't have the right ones. But just to show you the scope of today's range, I left SPY in ones. Look at this. This is what a $20 range looks like. Let's show you how, even though it's one day, look at the price probe. Look where we closed near low. Oh, and by the way, we're making new lows in the maintenance session. So if I would think the overnight would trade lower than N and O's lows, but if it doesn't, then this low would be the monthly low right now in ES and SPY. Even though it's maintenance. I'm not going to ignore that. But let's show you what a $20 range looks like on a market profile. So we have a price probe. So we closed around 586. We'll just round it out. L's low is the price probe. That's 593. That's a $7 price probe. Huge. Look at our single prints. 594 to 596. I'm rounding out. That's $2. Next set, 597. Look at this. To 600, $3. 601 to 603 and change, $2. So you have 3 large sets of single prints, a huge price probe. Okay? That's not going to be easy to take back. So we'll see if we open up inside of today's range, how much we attempt to take back. It will not be easy. We talk about, one of the things I stressed to the room today is when the market gets this extension, you have to be much less on your size, and you have to widen your stop. Because I'm telling you, every bear, every short got paid from J on. But if your stop was too tight and you were playing too big, you kept getting stopped out. So if you play 3 ES, play 5 MES. Yeah. And, oh, wow, that's nothing. In this kind of range, no, you're going to make money. Same in NQ. You have to play smaller and widen your stop, because I'm telling you, there was money to be made, but not if you were trading like you normally do. Now, let's go to the charts. I think it's worth it to look at these. We'll start with ES. So the monthly, here's the monthly. The monthly is still up. We're still one time framing up 4 months. So there's no damage done at all to the monthly. The weekly had such a tight range. We said at some point it's going to explode to the upside or downside. Well, today exploded to the downside. Does that mean, it's over for the bulls? No, I don't think so. I don't. But we are down on the weekly. Okay? And the daily is certainly down. Look at that. It blew through the 20 and the 50-day moving average. Now, we have not traded at the 200-day moving average. It's at 550.53. I didn't think the odds of trading at it this year were very good. I still don't think they're that good. But you can't rule anything out when you have a $20 range in one day. Right? So that's $36 lower. If you have a $20 range in one day, you can't rule anything out. But I'd be a little surprised if we went and got it. So, again, by the way, our volume's over 102 million. So we are in the top 10 for volume, and it's the largest range in over 2 years, almost 2.5. Let's look at the other ones. So here's NQ. The monthly is healthy, but look at that little pullback off it. But again, it's a monthly. We don't know if there's going to be excess. We won't know until next January starts if excess holds, or until this month ends at least. But we're still up. Not the nicest looking candle, but we're still up. The weekly is balanced. They were up, but here's the danger. We have 2 days left to go in the week. If we close below last week's low, you'll have an outside week down. That wouldn't be too bullish going into next week. However, last week's high is 533. So we would have to rally and close $17 high to have an outside week up. Can we do that? Anything is possible in this market. Okay? But the bigger thing to look for is a possible outside week down. And the daily, obviously, down. We came out of an inside day. We were up to balance, and boom. We always talk about wiping out so many days in one shot. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We wiped out 10 days in one shot in NQ. Okay? Now, look at IWM. And while I'm getting to the chart, I want you to remember one other thing. This is still short-term players. Okay? This was a big-time liquidation and shorts jumping in. Now look at the monthly in IWM. We talked about worrying about what they did the last time they made their all-time high in November of 2021. Well, we're an inside month right now, but we're getting close to last month's low. Okay? Last month's low is 217.84 with $3 from it. If we take it out, right back to balance. They did that 3 years ago. Something to keep an eye on. The weekly. We made an all-time high, right? What happened? Went back to balance and down. We made an all-time high. What happened? We went to balance and down. Is this a scenario that's going to play out again for the Russell? The daily, down. So their monthly is up. It's an inside month. But if they don't get a huge rally, it will be up to balance possibly if it's an inside month, or firmly back to balance if they take out last month's low in the next 2 weeks of trading. So anyway, I hope you did stay safe. If you had a good day, great. If you didn't, hang in there. Again, volatility is volume and volatility is the lifeline of a trader. We want this. This is what we want as traders. But you have to understand how to trade it. Okay? So, enjoy your evening, rest up, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.